It's Friday, January 25th, 2019. This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update. I'm Carol Williams. Parliamentary representative for the City of Bridgetown, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostick, has offered to broker a truce between warring factions responsible for the frightening upsurge in deadly violence in that area. The most recent fatal incident occurred Wednesday evening on Baxter's Road when an unknown gunman emerged from the nearby New Orleans area in the city and riddled 47-year-old Corey Yaba Paris with bullets while he sat in a car near Jordan's supermarket. But while Bostick, who is also Minister of Health and Wellness, accepts that much of the violence involved residents of the city, he believes that outsiders have something to do with it as well. He tells Barbados Today that while on previous occasions he found it easy to determine who the perpetrators were and was able to bring the violence under control, this latest flare-up was more complex.
This particular state of violence really is not as clear-cut in terms of trying to wrestle with exactly what is the root of the problem. But I would say up front, I would urge all those persons who are engaged in this this recent bout of violence to really to stop the violence, and let's come to a position where we can discuss and to see exactly what the issues are from their own perspective. There are some things that I know we need to do. This is an ongoing problem in terms of some of the social programs and some of the issues that are peculiar to areas like the City of Bridgetown.
Deputy Police Commissioner Erwin Boyce says the spate of killings is worrying and was not anticipated. However, he says it should not be viewed in isolation, but in a particular context.
It is extremely worrying, and it's something that, from a forces perspective, that we would not have anticipated at the beginning of the year with the level of consistency. It is extremely worrying, and but we have to put it in context. Because when we put it in context, we tend to understand what is happening. And what we have seen from the context, there seemed to be a victim-offender knowledge. So therefore, it seems, and I don't want to go too deep into investigation, it could have genesis elsewhere, as distinct from at the local Cinco where the crime was committed.
The Deputy Police Commissioner also assured that lawmen are working hard to bring the situation under control.
We know that there would be alarm and there would be anxieties and, there would be some peace of mind disruption. But what we want to assure Barbados is that operationally, the Royal Barbados Police Force and its partners are working towards ensuring that the peace of mind return and that there's less anxiety as it relates to that type of crime.
Meantime, a University of the West Indies lecturer says Barbados is not at a crisis stage. However, economist Jeremy Stevens says the rise in murder rate could hamper Barbados' economic recovery. Pointing to the number of killings that have occurred for the year, he says the country's murder rate is higher than Trinidad and Tobago's. The 8 killings recorded here for the year put the murder rate at 2.8 per 100,000, while Trinidad has recorded 32 murders, a rate of 2.3 per 100,000. Stephen tells Barbados Today this is sobering and could derail the government's efforts at restoring investor confidence in the country. In other news, funding for the training of healthcare workers is on the decline, a situation that's worrying chairman of the Arnott Cato Foundation, Professor Sir Earl Walron. He says while it's relatively easy to solicit funds for medical equipment, it's equally important to have trained personnel to man them.
One of the problems that we have seen over the years that the foundation has been operating is that with the well-known economic difficulties we have seen with the governments recently, there is a lot of pressure to be able to train health personnel and to assist them to realize their full potential.
Professor Sir Errol Wallen speaking at a ceremony where Master in Public Health student Dr. Sabira Franklin was named as a recipient of the 2019 Arnott Cato Foundation City of Bridgetown Scholarship.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To the region now, where the St. Lucia Prime Minister Alan Chastanet will face a no-confidence motion next Tuesday. Opposition leader Philip Pierre says they've received the green light to proceed with the debate, as we hear in this report from HTS News Force.
House Speaker Andy Daniel, according to the opposition St. Lucia Labour Party, has given the nod to proceed.
Since we submitted the motion of no confidence in Prime Minister Alan Chastanet to the Clerk of Parliament in November last year, the Prime Minister and his public relations people have been thrown into a tailspin.
Debate day is carded for January 29th in the lower house, but opposition leader Philip J. Pierre has accused the Alan Chastanet-led United Workers' Party government of drumming up tactics to dissuade public interest.
On the international scene, U.S. federal workers will go a second month without a paycheck. That's after two measures to end the month-long partial government shutdown failed yesterday. It also comes as U.S. President Donald Trump prepares to declare a national emergency along the southern border. Meantime, a number of government agencies have urged an end to the shutdown. We get the details from Reuters TV.
As the standoff over the government shutdown drags into its second month, some federal employees are growing desperate and agencies are losing patience. In a letter to Trump and Congress Thursday, 5 former Homeland Security secretaries urged an end to the shutdown. The signees include John Kelly, Trump's former Homeland Secretary and, until last month, Chief of Staff. DHS personnel, they write, should not have to rely on the charitable generosity of others for assistance in feeding their families and paying their bills while they steadfastly focus on the mission at hand. This is unconscionable.
You, as members of the armed forces, should not be expected to shoulder this burden.
The Coast Guard's top admiral tweeted a video calling the situation unacceptable.
I find it unacceptable that Coast Guard men and women have to rely on food pantries and donations to get through day-to-day life as service members.
Fund the FBI now.
FBI agents this week said the shutdown is hampering their ability to fight crime. Air traffic controllers warn it's causing dangerous risks. Many employees have turned to unemployment assistance, food banks, and other support, or have sought new jobs. Hundreds protested in the Capitol on Wednesday, demanding an end to the impasse over Trump's demand for a border wall.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. Have a good day. I'm Carol Williams.